Delilah's phone buzzed at 2 a.m. Again. She didn't need to look. She already knew it wasn't for her. Marthaias stirred beside her, his hand instinctively reaching for the nightstand, fingers fumbling in the dark. She watched him. Silent. Still. He grabbed the phone, glanced at the screen, and his jaw tightened. Then he turned it face down. No explanation. No apology. Just silence. She closed her eyes and pretended to sleep. But inside, something cracked a little more. This wasn't new. It had been going on for 2 years. Maybe longer. Delilah had stopped counting the nights he came home late, the weekends he disappeared for work, the perfume that wasn't hers lingering on his collar. She had asked him once, twice, a dozen times. Each time, Marthaias looked her in the eyes and lied with the kind of confidence that made her doubt herself. "You're overthinking," he'd say. "You're insecure. You're imagining things." And because she loved him, because they had 2 kids, because leaving felt like admitting failure, she stayed. She convinced herself that maybe, just maybe, he would change. But across town, in a small 1-bedroom apartment with ripped wallpaper and a flickering kitchen light, Ugomma sat on the edge of her bed staring at her own phone. She had just sent the text. The one Marthaias ignored. The one that said, "I'm tired of this." She wasn't crying anymore. She had done that months ago. Now, she was just angry. Angry at him for the promises he never kept. Angry at herself for believing them. Angry at the life she put on hold while he played house with someone else. Ugomma met Marthaias 3 years ago at a corporate event. He was charming, funny, attentive. He told her he was separated. That his marriage was over and everything but paperwork. That he was just waiting for the right time to leave. She believed him because she wanted to. Because he made her feel seen. Because he said all the right things at all the right moments. But 3 years later, he was still going home to Delilah every night. Still posting family photos on Instagram. Still wearing his wedding ring when it suited him. "I'm done," Ugomma whispered to herself. But this time, she meant it. The next morning, Delilah made breakfast like she always did. Pancakes for the kids. Coffee for Marthaias. He sat at the table scrolling through his phone, barely looking up. Their daughter asked him about her school project. He nodded without listening. Their son spilled juice on the table. Marthaias snapped. "Can you not make a mess for once?" The boy's face crumpled. Delilah stepped in, cleaned it up, soothed him. Marthaias didn't apologize. He just grabbed his keys and left. No kiss. No goodbye. Just the slam of the door. Delilah stood in the kitchen, hands gripping the counter. She wanted to scream. She wanted to throw something. But instead, she just breathed. In and out. In and out. This was her life now. A loop of pretending everything was fine when it clearly wasn't. But Ugomma was done pretending. She sat in her car outside a cafe, hands shaking, staring at the contact she had saved weeks ago. Nedu and Asa. Relationship coaches. Public figures. People Marthaias respected. People who could make him listen. She had heard them talk about accountability, about truth, about how some men only stop when the world sees who they really are. She opened her messages. Typed. Deleted. Typed again. Then finally, she hit send. "Hi. My name is Ugomma. I need to tell you about Marthaias. He's been lying to his wife for years. And I have proof." She attached everything. Screenshots of their conversations. Photos of them together. Receipts from hotels. Voice notes where he promised her forever. Videos of him bad-mouthing Delilah, calling her boring, saying he only stayed for the kids. She didn't do it out of spite. She did it because the truth deserved to exist somewhere other than in the shadows. 3 days later, Nedu called Marthaias. "We need to talk," he said. Marthaias laughed it off at first. Talk about what? But Nedu didn't laugh back. About Ugomma. About Delilah. About the lies. Marthaias froze. His stomach dropped. "Who told you that?" Nedu's voice was calm but firm. "Does it matter? What matters is whether it's true." Marthaias tried to spin it. He always did. "It's not what you think. She's crazy. She's obsessed. I tried to end it and she won't let go. But Nedu had heard it all before. Marthaias, I've seen the messages. I've heard the voice notes. In your own words, you said you loved her. You made plans with her. You told her Delilah didn't understand you. So let's not do this. Let's not insult everyone's intelligence. Marthaias' hands trembled. He hung up. Then he called Ugomma. What did you do? He hissed. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She just said, I told the truth. Something you've never done. He tried to guilt her. You're going to ruin my family. She laughed. A bitter, hollow sound. You already did that. I just made sure everyone else knew. That night, Delilah got a call. It was ASA. I think you need to sit down, she said gently. And for the first time in 2 years, Delilah heard the full story. Not pieces. Not suspicions. The whole, ugly truth. She listened in silence. And when it was over, she didn't cry. She just nodded. Thank you, she whispered. For telling me what he never would. Marthaias came home that night expecting nothing. Expecting Delilah to be in the kitchen, the kids in bed, the house quiet like it always was. But when he opened the door, she was sitting on the couch. Waiting. The lights were on. Her face was calm. Too calm. He knew immediately. Delilah, let me explain, he started. She held up her hand. Don't. Her voice didn't shake. It didn't crack. It was steady. Cold. Final. I know everything. He tried anyway. Whatever you heard, it's a lie. She's trying to destroy us. She's bitter because I ended things. Delilah tilted her head. Ended things? Marthaias, you told her you loved her 2 weeks ago. You sent her money last month. You took her to the same hotel we went to for our anniversary. His mouth opened. Nothing came out. She stood up. I've seen the messages. I've heard your voice. I know about the trips. The lies. The excuses. All of it. He dropped to his knees. Literally. Baby, please. I made mistakes. I'll fix it. I'll do anything. Just don't leave. Think about the kids. She stared down at him. For 2 years, she had imagined this moment. She thought she'd be angry. Thought she'd scream. Thought she'd fall apart. But instead, she felt nothing. Just emptiness where love used to be. You're not sorry you did it, she said quietly. You're sorry you got caught. He reached for her hand. She stepped back. I gave you everything. My trust. My time. My patience. I believed you when everyone told me not to. I stayed when I should have left. And you looked me in the eyes every single day and lied. Her voice finally cracked. Just a little. You didn't cheat on me because I wasn't enough. You cheated because you are not enough. Not man enough. Not honest enough. Not strong enough to do the right thing. Marthaias scrambled to his feet. So that's it? You're just going to throw away everything we built? She almost laughed. You threw it away the first time you texted her. I'm just done pretending it's still standing. She walked past him, grabbed her keys, and left. Not forever. Not yet. But for the first time in 2 years, she left on her own terms. Meanwhile, Ugomma sat alone in her apartment. She didn't feel victorious. She didn't feel relieved. She just felt tired. She had spent 3 years of her life waiting for a man who was never going to choose her. She had ignored red flags, silenced her instincts, and convinced herself that love was supposed to hurt this much. But it wasn't, and she finally knew that. Her phone buzzed. A message from a friend. I'm proud of you. She smiled. Small. Sad. But real. Over the next few weeks, the truth spread. Not because Delilah aired it out publicly. Not because Ugomma posted receipts online. But because people talk. Friends asked questions. Family noticed changes. Marthaias tried to control the narrative, but the cracks were too wide now. He told people Ugomma was lying. That Delilah was overreacting. that he was the victim. But no one believed him anymore. Because when you lie for long enough, even your truth sounds fake. Nedu and Asa did a follow-up conversation. They didn't name Marthaias, but they talked about accountability. About how cheating doesn't end because someone finds morals. It ends because the system that protected it collapses. Because the lies stop working. Because the people who enabled it, even unintentionally, finally step back. Thousands of people watched. Commented. Shared their own stories. Some sided with Delilah. Some understood Ugomma. But everyone agreed on one thing. Marthaias had no one to blame but himself. Delilah didn't take him back. Not that week. Not that month. Not ever. She filed for separation. Got a lawyer. Started therapy. Some days were harder than others. Some nights she cried into her pillow wondering if she made the right choice. But then she'd remember the lies. The disrespect. The years she wasted trying to fix something he kept breaking. And she'd breathe a little easier. Her kids asked questions. She answered them honestly, age-appropriately. She didn't trash their father. But she didn't protect him either. She told them the truth. That sometimes people make choices that hurt the ones they're supposed to love. And that it's okay to walk away from people who hurt you. Even if you love them. Ugomma moved on too. Slowly. She deleted his number. Blocked him on everything. Started going to therapy. Started dating herself. Started remembering who she was before she became someone's secret. She didn't regret telling the truth. Not for a second. Because staying silent would have meant staying stuck. And she deserved more than that. Marthaias? He tried to move on. Tried dating again. But every woman he met eventually asked the same questions. And he had no good answers. He'd lost his wife. Lost Ugomma. Lost his reputation. And for what? A few stolen moments that meant nothing in the end. He told himself he was the victim. That they were both overreacting. But late at night, when no one was watching, he knew the truth. He had destroyed everything good in his life because he thought he could get away with it. And he almost did. Until the side chick did something no one expected. She told the truth. Because here's the thing about cheating. It doesn't end because people change. It ends because the truth finally catches up. And when it does, there's nowhere left to hide. If this story hit you, hit that subscribe button. Drop a comment and tell us what you think. Should Delilah have stayed? Did Ugomma do the right thing? And have you ever been in a situation like this? Let's talk. And don't forget to like this video so more people can see it. Because some stories need to be told. Some truths need to be heard. And some lies need to end.